Notice of this meeting has been provided in a legal notice published in the Courier Post and Retrospect and posted in accordance with Title 10 of the New Jersey statutes annotated, specifying a 7 p.m. meeting time, and that formal action may or may not be taken at all caucus and commissioners' meetings. Please stand for the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please take note of the exits, from which you came in the front left. Do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes of November 26, 2013?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We have an open session for agenda items only. We will have a second open session towards the end of the meeting for all general issues. So I have a motion to open to the public.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Currently open for agenda items. Anyone have any questions on agendas? You can also ask these questions at the end of the meeting. No question. Seeing that there are none, do I have a motion to close?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Resolutions for action this evening. Resolution 2013-157. Go ahead.
Meeting minutes, Mr. Mayor?
Meeting minutes.
We did
yeah.
that.
For the caucus.
That's what it calls me, yeah.
Agenda item, I'm sorry, I was taking notes. I don't know if you want to go through that or...
One more time. We just did the November 26th meeting minutes.
Right, but it should say December 3rd caucus.
Not November 26th.
No, not November 26th.
So you're approving the meeting, approving the
Caucus
minutes of the caucus
meetings.
meeting.
Got it.
December 3rd.
December 3rd. So do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes of December 3rd?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Good luck. Resolution 2013-157, authorizing the County of Camden to install a crosswalk at the intersection of Hood Avenue and East Merchant Street in the Borough of Audubon. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2013-158, authorizing appropriation transfers within the 2013 budget. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2013-159, authorizing the payment of bills for December of 2013. Have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Mayor Ward?
Yes.
Commissioner Dawson? Yes. Commissioner Martin?
Yes.
Resolution 2013-160, authorizing the Borough of Audubon to waive permit fees for the Audubon Fire Department. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Roll call.
Mayor Ward?
Yes.
Commissioner Dawson? Yes. Commissioner Martin?
Yes.
Resolution 2013-161, authorizing the 2014 caucus and commissioner meeting schedule. And just note that the only changes are the last 3 meetings of the year. So, and the time was changed to 7:30 on all meetings. We have to, our professionals are going to be okay with that, right? 7:30.
7:30.
Yes. Mr. Burgess, please make a note.
I shall.
So, yes, we're trying to accommodate a lot of things, and one of those things is Commissioner Martin's schedule as a fireman sometimes has him working till 7 o'clock, so he can actually, it won't have a conflict with his work schedule if we change it to 7:30, which is, I think, more than appropriate to make sure
Thank you very much.
he's here for us. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Commissioners' reports. Commissioner Martin, do you have anything to report?
Actually, DPW did a great job with the snow. We got here early. Seemed like often there for a couple days. They did a fantastic job. Did great salting. They were out salting today for the snow we were supposed to get. Everything else seems great. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Martin, or Dawson, sorry.
No, we're ready to switch over to our bank, effective the first of the year. Everybody did a great job with all the leafing and I guess snow as well, and even the holiday trash pickup. I know the guys were out there on Tuesday or Christmas Eve and did a nice job, so thank you for that, because it was my trash day. And
Did Wednesday's route twice today.
oh wow, I wish I
If
was.
those lived on Wednesday route, they realized they had to put their trash out.
So thank
Did
you.
it twice.
Good.
Look forward to a good new year.
Great, thank you. My report for public safety and affairs. One of the things, codification, Sal, any estimated time for that being completed? So
Yeah,
moving
I
forward?
recently exchanged email with the folks in Florida, and we'll have changes to that. They asked by January 6th, which is early for us because we don't meet until January 7th. And so I should be able to have those final changes, and they promised to get that done. There's a small little discount, financial incentive to off the final bill, so that's
Great.
we should have it before then. You ratify on January 7th, I believe, is our first meeting, is the first Tuesday in January, and we should be able to wrap up in July.
Good. So the idea is it's been taken probably 2 years now, I think, to take all of our ordinances and codify them and get them in an organized fashion. And you know, part of the idea is that now they'd be available online as well as in the print version.
Searchable database.
Searchable database. So that's the goal. It's been our goal, and we've paid for it. It's just been some slow going towards the end here to get it done for some of the corrections. But thank you for that. Another thing we're going to review is our sign ordinance. As we start to make improvements, and hopefully this year we're going to, depending on if the budget, if we're able to afford it in the budget once the budget work gets done, is we did one sign, a new sign that has I guess an alert board or an event board on it at Greenway Park. That's a 2x4 sign underneath the Borough sign. I was out today at the Borough sign at Kings Highway, and by the way, Dave, I put solar lights on the sign, so it's on the base. So now the sign's a little bit lit up at night. It's still not quality, just to see if that would work. But we're gonna.
The sign orders that you're talking about?
Down, yes,
Okay.
down by at the Lake Drive in Kings Highway.
Okay.
Is that our property, by the way?
Yes, it is.
Yes. The idea is that I'm going to get pricing from the sign company to put another sign board below. That's going to be 2x4. The other one at Kings Highway and Winters Pike, the Audubon brick one, similar thing to what you've seen in Haddon Heights with the poles over that, same thing. We'll just ask for permission, or I'm sorry, forgiveness after, but I know that that's another location. And then Nicholson Road, a new sign there, hopefully if we can afford it, is a new welcome to Audubon sign with a similar thing underneath. And then we'll have 4 locations for people to get on our schedule to put out their softball registration, soccer, family day, that kind of thing, all the events. And they'll go through us to get those put up, tell them it's 2x4, that kind of thing. So we're going to come up with a nice policy and share that in the new year once they're up. The idea, we'll look at our sign ordinance, make sure it's appropriate, because what we'd like to do is clean up the signs. So any signs on public property, I know it says that now in the sign ordinance, we can take it away. But I want to work with these organizations so that they get professional signs made, and we can stop the sign graffiti that's all over the place. So that hopefully in the new year we'll be able to clean that up and create a nice location for people to put their information. That's all I have. Do I have a motion to open for general matters?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Currently open for any other questions or concerns. All I ask is to please raise your hand, state your name and address for the record, and move forward for us. Yes, sir.
Good evening, John Schmidt, Gloucester City, New Jersey. On the beginning of your agenda, motion to approve the minutes for November 26, 2013. Was there a motion to second to that?
Yes.
You were actually voting on the December 3rd minutes?
Yes, and we went back and corrected that.
Did anyone actually look at the minutes before you voted on them, and look at the date what you were voting on?
Yes.
Nobody caught that?
We just did. What's your question?
It's just odd that you were voting.
There was a mistake and we corrected the mistake.
Normally when it comes up for a vote, you know what you're voting.
Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate it. What else you got?
You're on the matter of the colonial lines. Can you give me a status of where Audubon stands on the issue?
What issue?
The colonial lines shared service for police study?
So you want to know where Audubon stands on the police study? There is no police study.
The proposed police study.
Okay, the proposed police
Yes,
study.
that you and the other mayors have been discussing.
Correct. We still don't have a proposed police study. So I guess what you're asking for is about the RFPs that went out? Request for proposals? Right, but there hasn't been a choice made on that. Audubon's position, I should say my position, because it hasn't been put before this board yet, so it's not a decision made by the Board of Commissioners. But my position is we're all for having a study that could possibly save the taxpayers money. Any study. That could be a study to paint this building olive gray. If it saves us money, we're going to do it.
How much money are you going to pay for this study?
We don't know yet.
Estimates. I know they're out there.
They're out there, but it depends on what towns are involved. So there's no cost yet. The initial proposal with all towns involved was going to cost Audubon $15,000 to $17,000, Dave, off the memory.
Initially, depending on what town we're in, it was 10,000. We haven't been able to determine who's in yet, so
Right.
I would say that's max on what you had mentioned.
Right, max might be 17,000 maximum to
So
Audubon.
it's safe to say that you yourself support moving forward at a budget of 10 to 17,000 to do a government study.
Correct.
Have you, as the Director of Public Safety, spoken to your chief and asked your chief to sit down with other chiefs and see what they possibly can come up with in terms of cost savings? Before you even explore the possibility of expending government funds to do a government study?
That's a great question. Yes, for 4 years. And I will tell you that the chief and I have spoken about this. He may not support this proposal, although I'm not sure if he does or not. But I can tell you that the chiefs have come up through with some ideas to save money, but none of them have been implemented that I'm aware of. Central booking, I think, was one that was proposed.
Well, we're actually, the chiefs actually formed another association, but we actually, the Colonial Chiefs actually decided to form our own group to work along with the mayors. And we thought it was necessary and important that we sit at the table and have dialogue with, governing bodies as to where we think our efficiencies can best serve our communities, both collectively and individually. So I think the answer to your question is absolutely. And again, having as a chief, who better to decide and have input to where we can save money. But I can tell you, we feel it's very efficiently being spent as it is right now. And one of the things the chiefs have, and we've had this conversation with the mayors, is that we have a lot of shared services already that we don't have formalized. We do it every day as a matter of routine, backing each other up, helping each other out, assisting other towns when they need help, processing arrests and things like that. So, our stance is, and me personally, as a police chief and also as a resident of Audubon, anything we can do in order to keep our police departments locally, we want to do. If that means that we have to be with the chief of police, and ultimately maybe that's what it is. I don't know. If we have to get a detective bureau that we work together with, so that we can maybe shrink our police departments down to smaller sizes, yet still be there. Maybe it's working together to provide midnight patrol. Maybe it's to provide relief efforts, relief shifts and things like that. We have to explore everything. We're very conscientious of the 2% cap and how that's a challenge every year. Healthcare costs, all things that are difficult for all the towns. So we're exploring everything. We want to survive also. We think that there's a lot of support from our taxpayers to keep our local PDs. And the question really becomes is how do we do that? So I think it needs to be a collective partnership between the mayors and the chiefs. And so far, I think we've been welcome at the table. So.
And to add to that, I think so far what we've seen, there was 3 different proposals that the group received. Did you get copies of those?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of them was knocked out of the box, I think immediately. It was, I want to say it was 150,000 probably, with very little experience behind it. We did have the other two that were left remaining to come in and present to the group so that we could ask more questions to make sure that we're, everything that we're talking about as a possibility in a shared service is evaluated and make sure they understand. Part of our going into this as elected officials, and the chief will attest to this, I've said it to him many times, this is not an effort to eliminate anyone currently employed. Am I saying that right? So in other words, I'm not looking to get rid of our chief. And anyone that currently has a job, that's all on the table, and we'll make sure that nobody in this study who would perform a study, should we move forward, because we're still not sure we're moving forward. Again, the commitment and the final details of the study and what towns are involved, it's going to determine everything. If towns pull out, then that's a bigger, there's a bigger cost to us, and it also changes their scope, and their price should come down. So all that has to be figured out yet. But I would say that from our end, going into it, and they're going to have whoever, if we did move forward, whoever would come into this town to do the assessment, would have full access to Chief Tassi, would have full access to the officers to hear their opinions and make sure that if there's something we're evaluating, that the frontline staff are involved in the discussion so that their point of view is referenced. Because we're not going to make a decision as an organization up here, or the board, that doesn't make sense for the town or the function. We don't want to impact our police capabilities. That's not what this is about. It's about making it more efficient, if possible. I mean, they may come up with a study that basically says that you're already doing everything that you can and we really can't save you any money. I hope that's not the case. I mean, if we're going to spend money, and again, I said if.
I've read you got a copy, and I read the proposal, I think it was between Collingswood, Oaklyn, Haddon Township, it was done about 20 years ago,
Okay.
which they didn't do because we really weren't leaving much savings. And there was one of the companies that came in, that put in a bid for this, this is Riverton, Palmyra, up that way, consolidation. Essentially, they said, you really wouldn't save much money. The town said no.
But I think, if I could, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think they were talking about consolidating police departments. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's not what we're talking
To an
about.
extent, this goes halfway.
I'll say less than
Part
halfway,
of
but
this
I hear what you're saying.
is to share a chief, but then, you're pretty much not really saving salary because you're going to have to replace, you share all the same chief, less more lieutenants and captains, which you do.
They could, but I hear what you're saying.
With that, the RFPs are out, as you stated. I'm sure anyone involved with this has read thoroughly. They've been out since June. Do any of the other two commissioners have an opinion on the issue of where you stand? Do you support it? Do you not support it?
And what's important in front of me, and we're voting on it, I'm not making any opinions.
I feel the same way I'm not.
One thing I will tell you, I bleed green and gold, and I'm for this town first. That's what I worry about, is this town.
And Mr. Schmidt, if I could, I believe, you may have heard this before, but the Colonial Alliance was sort of born out of the formation of the county police department. Have you heard that aspect of it?
I know everything from the first day that Colonial was created and what its purpose was.
Okay.
Some of the good elements, some shared service agreements between the municipalities.
Sure.
In terms of this side, Jim knows it.
Okay.
Anything run by Jim Neal and Capelli, you just can't trust it. In the case Haddon Heights, quite frankly, I think they made the right decision. I hope other towns do as well. I think in terms of bringing the chiefs, I'm glad they finally have a seat at the table. They didn't have a seat at the table for a long time when the mayors were plowing straight ahead with this. So I hope it does slow down to where the chiefs can.
Again, I don't want to interrupt you, but that's a misstatement. There was an invitation to the Chiefs Association it took some time. And quite frankly, nothing was in front of us yet to show them. So once we did have it, the chiefs were there, they were brought in, we were sent them copies of everything that we were doing, actually our spec to go out.
Well, did you invite them in prior to the RFP going out?
I believe there was an invitation extended, correct, yes.
Before the RFP went out?
I believe there
The
were,
RFP surfaced back in February.
yeah, there was conversations months before that to involve the police chiefs in the conversation of what should this study look like. Yes.
Thank you for that. For two other questions, you have joint land use board?
Correct.
How are the appointments made to that board?
How are the appointments made to the joint land use board? By this board. We have agreed to handle the appointments.
Is there a motion and a second?
No, the appointments to the.
Appointments.
Oh, by resolution, like having body.
For professionals or people on the board?
No, the members of the class 4 members.
Oh, it's by this board.
By this
By the board of
board of commissioners makes the
A
appointment.
resolution.
Right.
Under, this is what I found out in another town, I haven't fought the issue yet. Under the statute for the joint land use board, the class 4 are directly appointed by the mayor. So whatever, if it's being done by resolution, those appointments are not being done in accordance with statute. So anyone serving on that board currently legally be serving because it was done by resolution, which is not what the statute says. And anything they voted on, is that binding, or does that essentially go back and be redone? I don't expect an answer tonight.
Yeah, and I'm going to step in before I mean, your question, and I appreciate the information, and if I'm asked by the board of commissioners, I'll be happy to take a look at that. But I'll look to see, in terms of the class 4 members, if and how they were appointed for the question.
If it's okay, I should certainly follow up with you, clarifying exactly, so that's her, and ask that question, is that what that's for?
Absolutely.
Finally, and what I hear is a touchy issue. I spent some time reviewing some documents, and the legal aspect is over, but can you please explain to me what transpired in the Oaklyn case, why Ms. Borough did the action we took in regards to your former clerk?
Mr. Mayor, I'm going to step in, not at this time.
Still not finalized.
Could you repeat the question for those of us in the back who can't hear?
Sure, I asked if, since the legal matter was over, if they could comment on the Nancy Doman case and explain why the borough took the position that they took. Follow that up, because after the court ordered her back, actually happened to file an open request. I found her very competent. It seemed like she was a very well qualified clerk with years of experience. And here's why the borough did what they did, was my question. If the
Thank you.
litigation is still ongoing, I was not aware of that, and we'd like to follow up with that question in 6 months once the litigation is finalized to understand the reason that the borough did when they did it.
And I'm going to step in, litigation, as I know, is closed, but there are ongoing personnel matters that have not yet been finalized. So that's the reason that I'm going to direct the mayor commissioner not to respond at this time.
But his secondary question was, could he follow up within 6 months to see if it's been closed?
Assuming the personnel matter is closed today, then 6 months from today, as soon as the personnel matter is closed, you can certainly follow up, Mr. Schuman, absolutely, as soon as the personnel matter is closed. It's not at this time. It continues to be open.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions?